I've got a confession to make. Nothing. I didn't feel anything. I felt numb. Felt numb to all emotion. And looking back now, that it destroys me. And then I would see myself jumping off the multi-storey car parks. Just went into an absolute fit of rage before collapsing to the floor, just crying my eyes out. It's exciting for me. And if I can help just one person, then I am really, really happy. So on this walk, I'm going to give you my struggle and possibly the reasons why I went into the depths of depression. Hi, I'm Mikey D, and welcome to my channel, Slip and Pitch Kettle, where I talk openly about mental health, and particularly as a firefighter serving in the fire and rescue service, but also to the wider first responder family, our brothers and sisters on the thin blue and thin green line. If you've never been to this channel before, I'm Mikey D. I'm a serving firefighter for nearly 25 years here in the UK. And I talk openly about my mental health struggles and give hints and tips and hacks on ways to improve and maintain your mental health. If you're returning to the channel, thank you so much. It is honestly great to see you. Today I'm walking through the Longshore Estate and down into an absolute magical place called Padley Gorge. And this is situated just in the Peak District. I thought I'd get out of the house because I read a Facebook page or a Facebook post on a walking group that I'm on Facebook. And there's a person there that's quite a motivational, inspirational story on how he or she or they were suicidal. They had loads of things going off in their life and they were planning to take their own lives, and so they gave themselves fantastically 6 months. And if they still felt the same in 6 months, then they were gonna do it, which I thought was a great idea. And I had a good read of it, and it gave me the inspiration to get out today and go for this walk. So as I'm walking and looking at the views, it's reminded me of when I used to go hiking as a teenager in Snowdonia in Wales. I was in the Air Cadets for 5 years as a teenager, and we did our bronze, silver and gold Duke of Edinburgh award. And it just reminded me of one of the guys there, Ferg. He passed away at the age of 21, quite tragically. He was an experienced walker, and I think he went solo in Ireland somewhere, and he got found several days or a week later after him going missing. I think he, don't know the full details, but I think he fell and obviously died due to his injuries, and just got me thinking back to him and trying to deal with that grief as a young 21-year-old myself. I didn't know how to grieve, and that, amongst other things, put me into the depths of depression. So on this walk, I'm gonna just get this gate. I'm gonna give you my struggle and possibly the reasons why I went into the depths of depression. So come and join me. I lost a really close best friend at the age of 18, Degsy. Degsy was the soul and life of every party. It's funny because at the age of 15, 16, he got run over on his push bike, broke several bones, was in a bad way in hospital, managed to recover, and then a year later passed his driving test at the age of 17 and crashed and managed to recover. And then a week or so before he's due to start university, he got meningitis, and within several hours of being diagnosed, the poor kid, he died. And that hit me hard, but I didn't know how to grieve at the time. So losing two really good, close friends in my late teens, early 20s really knocked me for six. I didn't know how to grieve. I joined the Air Force. I didn't want to show any weakness as a young lad trying to fit in. So when I left the RAF, I applied for every fire service in the country and ended up getting in where I am now. So I moved over to that county, and yeah, that was quite a big stress because I was a young 21, 22-year-old, didn't have a clue about the area, didn't have a clue about the people. So I found that quite stressful, as well as going through my probationary period and all these things just on top of each other. I didn't realise it at the time, it was taking its toll on me. And I wore a face mask all the time at work. You know, everything was okay. Nothing was bothering me because I wanted to fit in. I had money worries because I was living by myself and had a mortgage to pay for, and I was sort of doing the house up. And yeah, just one thing after another over a period of years, and I was in that whirlpool, but I didn't realise I was going down. Other people might have seen it, but then again, I was by myself, so they might not have. So I've been given the go-ahead by my cardiologist to up my fitness levels a little bit by walking. What better way than being out in nature? It's really improving my mental health and my mood. It's given me some clarity, and it's given me a reason to do these videos for you. So it's a win-win situation. I'm so appreciative of you joining me on my journey and our journey together, even though I might never meet you or know you. Just so appreciative of your time. So what was it like for me living in that dark place? Well, at first I didn't have a clue. I didn't have any idea I was in that dark place. I was just living life normally. But I lost interest in doing the things that I'd normally find interest in doing. Stopped playing football and meeting up with people. I had a weird pain that it was like a sharp needle going into my left sort of armpit. I was losing my appetite, and I lost absolutely tons of weight in what seemed to be a short space of time. I were just driving to work and just crying my eyes out for no reason. I was irritable. I'd be snapping at every little thing in my personal life. But at work, I was just acting normal, and it was so tiring, so exhausting. Putting on that mask, putting on that face that people expect you to have. And I were absolutely shattered. I'd go days without having sleep. And then on my days off, I just could not get out of bed. Just pulling the duvet off, just getting a leg. I'd just get my leg out of bed, put it on the floor, and I'd stay there for hours. Seems ridiculous now looking back, but that's all I could muster. If you're in that place right now, I'm hoping these videos are helping you. And even if it's just a case of sitting on the sofa, putting the TV on, or putting your phone or your laptop on, and you're watching these videos of me outside in the outdoors, it's hopefully giving you some comfort. I'd sometimes struggle just to brush my teeth, just to get in the shower, make myself a meal. I just couldn't do it. I remember one particular time that the parents came over to help me. They travelled, 100 miles or so to come and help me, to spend time with me, to try and do what parents do, just trying to help the kids. And there was this one particular time my dad was wanting to help me in the garden, and I've always loved being in the garden. And he was going to help me build a pergola. Put down in the comments what it is. He was laying some flags down, and we were digging away the soil and stuff, and it felt like I was digging the foundations for a skyscraper. I just couldn't do it. Whereas normally I'd do it no problem, and I'd outdo my dad, but that must have been frustrating for him, because I just went back in the house, went upstairs into the bathroom, and I just lay out on the bathroom floor crying my eyes out. What else was I struggling with? Just concentrating. It was such a hard task to do because I was so tired all the time. I was always thinking, probably overthinking, all the time. Intrusive thoughts just kept popping into my head. And not good thoughts, there were thoughts of you're not good enough, you're always going to be second best at the best. What are you doing here? Why are you here? And one of the questions I kept asking my partner, who is now my wife, was, why are you with me constantly? And it was a new relationship, and that must have drove her crazy, because I was asking her all the time. It was that bad. If you imagine a swarm of bees or a swarm of wasps, and every wasp or bee is a thought, and they were stinging the front of my brain constantly. They weren't good thoughts, they were thoughts of, well, I had low self-esteem, I didn't think I was worthy, I didn't think I was good enough for anything, to the point that I was a burden, or I thought I was a burden upon my family and friends. And yeah, that's when I started going even further and deeper into those dark days. In this woodland in Padley Gorge, it's just so magical, and the trees have just got so much character and they're so unique. And they've got this particular tree here that it's all twisted and all gnarly, and I was wondering what might have caused that, and I'm only assuming it's the light from the sun, and they've grown towards it and tried to get in pockets of light, and the stresses on the tree have caused it to be like that. Now, it's a bit like us, we are shaped by our experiences, shaped by our troubled times and our good times. You know, you might have been through a world of crap, doesn't mean that you are crap. You're just unique. You are who you are, and celebrate that. Don't be ashamed of celebrating who you actually are. If we were all the same, you know, six-pack, good looking, rich, got, you know, everything that you could ever dream of, if everybody was the same, be pretty boring. So celebrate who you are, celebrate your uniqueness, because what else have we got, to be honest? We are who we are. Don't let those bad times define who you are. Treat it as, okay, it's crap now, but it isn't always going to be like that. It might feel that it is always going to be like that, and that's another one of the symptoms that I had. So when you're in that dark place and you feel like there's no hope, it's just crap every single day. Feels like you're going through a tunnel. And normally in life you can see an end to that tunnel, you see the light at the end of the tunnel. But with depression, there is no light. In fact, if you do see a light, it's like a train coming towards you, ready to give you some more. And it felt like there was no way out. It was going to be like this forever, and that's when I started having the intrusive thoughts of suicide, of ending it all, because what's the point if it's always going to be this crap, this terrible? There's no point. If you are in that boat right now, if you are in those shoes right now, if you are in that dark place, you can get out of it, you will get out of it. It's not always going to be like that. There's an old adage, isn't there, an old saying that if you take your life, it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And that is so true. So true. I once saw a documentary, I think on YouTube, on people who decided they wanted to take their own lives by jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge at San Francisco. And those that survived, obviously they interviewed them, And I think every single one said, as soon as I'd let go, as soon as I jumped, I instantly regretted that decision. Luckily, they are still here to tell that story. So please, 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 reach out. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. Don't think that you're weak, because me, you are not weak. You are mega strong. And you will get it through this, and you'll get out of it. And you'll make you a better person, it'll make you a better you. As I got deeper and deeper into the depths of depression, the lack of sleep, the lack of concentration, the brain fog that I had, not being able to get out of bed, doing the bare minimum, if at all, each day just rolled into the next. Each week just rolled into the next week. I didn't know what day it was, what month it was. With me being off work, I didn't have a clue when my watch was on. It just going into one complete blurry, dark, cloudy abyss. It was early on in my treatment, with my medication and all that kind of stuff. And we went to a nightclub, and just walking in there, for the first 10 seconds, I just didn't feel right. I honestly, genuinely believed that every single person in that club was looking at me, and they were laughing. I was so paranoid, and my heart just it racing. I felt like it was going to explode. The sweat was pouring out of me. I was trembling, and we'd only just got out, and I said, I've got to go, I've got to get out of here. I can't breathe. And I was having a panic attack, and we came out. I wasn't walking, my tears are just pouring down my face. We get into her house, and I just collapsed to the kitchen floor. My knees just went. It's like somebody just got a bat around the back of my legs and just knocked me down, chopped me down. I'm going to ask a question now. Please, if you've gone through this, if you know this, if you have seen this, if you've heard it, but I know of two other people that's talked about this sort of dark figured demon. Now, it sounds really spiritual and, supernatural, and I'm not really into that. People have said that when they've been in bed, they felt like, or they've seen this big, black, dark figured demon pushing down on the chest, stopping them from getting up, stopping them from breathing. And I've heard a person off YouTube talk about that, and I've been told by somebody that's really close to me that's happened to them. And I didn't see this demon, but I honestly did, and I swear down, I felt this pressure pushing down on my back. And my wife's saying, get off the floor, don't be stupid. And I just physically could not get off the blooming floor. I honestly felt this thing pushing down on me. And so I tried to crawl to get out of the kitchen, and I couldn't even do that. I was literally grasping with my fingertips, pulling myself along. You know, like us fire bobbies when we go into some sort of rat run or some sort of crawls with BA on and all that. Maybe when you do your recruit courses or your selection process, and you go through really small tunnels, and you've got to inch along with your fingers and your toes. It was like that. I just couldn't physically get up. I couldn't crawl. I was inching along with my fingers. and then all of a sudden I just could get up. It was such a weird sensation. So please tell me if that's happened to you. Now, I could have been making it up in my own mind. I have no idea, but I've heard two other people, one on YouTube, who is the side copper, I think, like I said, Ben Pearson, and somebody else that's really close to me, who means the world to me. Both have said that. They've seen this dark-figured, sort of demon holding them down. So, is it something? I don't know. But if you can, this is only for my own peace of mind, put in the comments below if you've seen or heard or experienced that, or if you know somebody else has. Be really interesting to find out. I had one of these episodes, these moments where I wanted to kill myself, and can't remember why my dad couldn't come, but my mum just came, and we sat on the sofa, and I'm going to get upset now. When I was a kid, whenever I saw my mum crying, whether it was because I'd been naughty or whatever, and I'd answered back, and my mum would get upset, I would then come back down out of the clouds. I would then, come back down to earth. And we had this conversation on the sofa, and she got upset. And normally I'd get upset with her, and we'd hug it out. But not this time, says Mum. It's not me, I'm not me anymore, I don't know who I am. That's like I'm somebody else inside, and I was just deadpan. And my mum were crying her eyes out. And I just deadpan. It's not me, I don't know. There's something else inside me. And yeah, depression, you get to a stage where you're not sad anymore. You can't get happy. And if you get happy, you're faking it. I was just nothing. I didn't feel anything. I felt numb. Felt numb to all emotion. And looking back now, it destroys me. Because when you see your loved one crying, you get upset, and I didn't. And I should have done. I should have done. But hey, that's depression for you, isn't it? 16, 17 years ago, and wow. Oh. Whew. Do I put this in? Warts and all. We'll see. I've said in a previous video that when I went to see my counsellor, who the brigade employed, mentioned that I wasn't the only person feeling the way I felt at that time, and there was 2 or 3 others at my station alone. And it was, that feeling of isolation. Depression it makes you feel you are the only person on this planet. And I liken it to, the way I can describe it is, if you're in a glass shower cubicle having a shower, imagine that glass is now dark and tinted, and people are just walking by you, and you're banging and you're screaming and you're shouting, "Get me out of here, you get me out," and you're banging on this glass, and nobody can see you. Nobody can hear you. And it's just you. It's such a strange and horrible feeling, and if you're in that position now, I really genuinely feel for you, but you're not by yourself. There are others that are going through. In fact, tell you what, I feel like I've been quite brave in opening up to people on my innermost thoughts. Let's see if we can smash this stigma, this taboo subject. Just pop down in the comments now. Are you going through this right now? Are you the only person on this planet? Are you feeling like you are so isolated? Are you connecting with what I've been talking about? Just go on, be brave. Even put it anonymously. Just put, "Yeah, that's me." Do it now. I'll have a quick slip of me, bro. Just do it now. Go on, you can do it. even just put an asterisk, anything. I want to get a tidal wave of people opening up. I want to get an unstoppable force where we all talk about how we're feeling. And again, I'm trying to practice what I preach. I've just been walking and meeting people as I'm walking, and they see I'm filming, and then I've just, you know, just said good morning to them. Hi, how you doing? Lovely day, isn't it great here? And some of them I've just said, you know, I'm filming because I'm making a YouTube channel talking about mental health, and everybody's saying that's fantastic. So come on, let's break down this stigma, let's break down this taboo subject. If you are struggling now, you might have connected with some of the signs and symptoms that I told you about earlier. Just bob in the comments, just put an asterisk, just put number 1, just put anything. Just put something. And the more people that just, I don't know, write a full stop, put an exclamation mark, write a full sentence, write the entire memoirs, the more people we get commenting, the more people that are feeling isolated will actually think, I'm not alone. Thank goodness I'm not the only one feeling like this, because that is such an uplifting, such an intense relief from the despair that you're in. It truly, truly is. So yeah, just bob a comment down below. You know, it's quite funny. I just found this place to come and sit and have a brew down by the brook, and I've got a confession to make. When I was thinking about filming this video, I put a bit of a script together, sort of bullet points on what I'm going to say. Yorkshire tea, the best. And I was sort of practicing that script while I was driving here in the car. And I was getting not worked up by it, but I was kind of preparing myself on what to say on each little bit. And it's just proved my point about being in nature, in greenery, out in nature, that calms the mind, because I keep forgetting what I'm going to say. It's, your senses are just absolutely overloaded with the sights that you see, the sounds of the water, of the birds, of the wind blowing through the leaves in the trees, and it's just proved right here, right now, that it clears the mind. It's absolutely fantastic, and you've just got to get out and get, you know, I feel for those that live in the city. I'm lucky I only live an hour's drive from this location, so I can quickly chuck things in the car, chuck my boots in the boot, and just drive out for an hour and find these absolutely awe-inspiring, stunning landscapes and places to walk. So I am lucky, and that's one of the things that I am grateful for. And when you are struggling with mental health, just try and think of the things that you are grateful for and the things that you have got. I know there's a retired copper on YouTube, I think his name is Ben Pearson, and he was struggling and he was suicidal, and every morning he woke up, he came up with 10,000 different reasons of not to do it, of not to take his own life, and that got him through day by day. And just little things like this, just going for a walk out in the wilderness, not even a wilderness really, but out in greenery. Like I said, it's just, I've just totally forgotten what I'm going to say at each point. I've got to keep referring back to notes on my phone about what I'm going to say. So I'm just basically saying, or just proving a point, get out, get for a walk, get in greenery, get in nature, and it is just so good for the soul. Anyway, I'll have a few more slurps of my tea, because I've slipped and pitched the kettle, and I'll carry on speaking to you. See you soon. Casting my mind back to that dark time when I was getting treated. I was on medication, and you've got to be careful, because if you get the wrong medication it can make you worse. And one of the symptoms that I had was I was hallucinating. I was picturing myself as if I'm talking to you right now, or you're looking at me, killing myself. I'd be in the shower and I'd look down in the bath and I'd see myself there with, and this is quite graphic, with my wrist slit, blood everywhere, dead. When I was walking on the landing, I'd have to sort of skirt around on the landing, me hanging from the attic hatch. Or I'd be driving and then I would see myself jumping off the multi-storey car parks, as if I'm like just looking at an old person, as if they're real, and it was all hallucinations. And so I got stopped on from that medication straight away. So just be careful if you're getting hallucinations. And the suicidal thoughts kept getting worse and worse and worse, that I immediately stopped that medication. So just be wary of that. If you're on the wrong medication, it can make you worse. Tell your GP straight away. On the flip side, if you're on the right medication and when you're coming off it again, do it properly. Don't just stop taking it. Don't think, I feel better now, and stop taking it. You get sort of various symptoms. I was getting migraine, headaches. Just be careful when you come off your medication. Do it under the advice of your doctor. Have you ever been in that situation where there's just something constant at you? Bam, 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 bam. It doesn't matter what it might be. It might be your kids are just fighting in the car as you go driving on holiday or something like that, and you just snap. Well, that happened to me quite a few times when I was in that dark place where just everything was getting on top of me, and then I would just go into a fit of rage, of absolute ridiculous Wolverine style rage. One particular episode, I was renovating my house and I was fitting a new bathroom, and I bought a new toilet and sink and all that kind of stuff. And because I was a young lad in my 20s, I'd never done anything like that before, never fit a bathroom before, and I learnt the hard way. And as I was screwing the cistern onto the pan, if you like, I thought, right, I'll give it just one more little half a twist. And yeah, it broke, did it too tight, and I just flipped. I just picked up the toilet and I smashed it into the sink and just went into an absolute fit of rage before collapsing to the floor, just crying my eyes out, bawling. Oh, when I'm talking bawling, I'm talking like a toddler. Yeah, not a good place to be. Not like this place. This is stunning. If only I'd learnt all that back then. But then again, I won't be speaking to you now. Every dark cloud has a silver lining. Turn a negative into a positive. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. As I was getting deeper and deeper, further down that downward spiral, and the symptoms were getting worse, I just felt like a burden. I'm a burden on my family. They're having to look after me. My parents were having to look after me again. My wife, my partner at the time, who's now my wife, was having to look after two little girls and me. I wasn't helping them. I wasn't contributing. I was making it worse for them. I am a burden. And that's what I thought. That's what I genuinely thought, that I was a burden to my friends, my family, my work colleagues. You'll be better off without me. That's what I thought. I genuinely thought they'd be better off without me. And that's what depression does to you. It makes you think that you are a burden. You're not. Part of my treatment, called CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, is challenging those thoughts, challenging your behaviours, challenging your actions, and changing them. And when I started practicing it and getting quite good at it, and now I feel like I've really come on leaps and bounds. I'm a burden. I need help. Actually, no. Let's flip it, twist it and reverse it. You are giving somebody else the opportunity to feel good about themselves. Eh? What do you mean by that? Last time you helped somebody, and it might have been a favour, it might have been to do with mental health, it might have been helping move furniture, it could be helping somebody move, maybe lending them some money, it could be anything. What did you feel when you helped them? Yeah, you felt positive, you felt happy, you felt like worthwhile, you felt good, you felt like you made a difference. And with you not reaching out, with you thinking that you're a burden, you're denying somebody the opportunity to have that warm fuzzy feeling. So you're not a burden. Flip it, twist it, reverse it. I'm allowing somebody else to help me rather than I'm putting on somebody else. I'm allowing somebody to have that warm fuzzy feeling that we all like. Another good thing about hiking is you've got to concentrate, especially when you've got terrain like I'm walking on here. You've got to concentrate on where you place your feet. You don't want to break an ankle or worse. And that concentration, it takes all your bandwidth up in your brain so that you don't think about all the crap that's going off inside your head. So yeah, get out, get walking, get hiking. Maybe being told by a good colleague of mine, good friend, Johnny Boy, he says climbing, he's into his climbing, and just knowing where to put your hands, put your feet, it just takes up all the space in your brain to decide how you're going to climb and to be safe, so you can't think about the crap that's going off in your life. So get outdoors, bit of climbing, bit of hiking, job's a good one. So my apologies if my camera skills and editing skills aren't the best just yet. I'm still new to it, so I'm learning as I go along. But that's a good thing for mental health. If you take up a new skill, take up a new hobby, immerse yourself into it. That way, sorry I'm looking down, it's quite treacherous here. That way that it gives you a new lease of life, gives you a new purpose, gives you something else to aim for. And that's what we want, isn't it, at the end of the day, keep things fresh, keep things excited. And that's what this journey is for me, documenting and talking to you. It's exciting for me. And if I can help just one person, then I am really, really happy. But yeah, you must come down to Padley Gorge, have a cup of tea in the Grindleford Cafe. They do a pint of tea. No word of a lie. We've done quite a bit of rope rescue training down here. They do a pint of tea, which is, yeah, they've got a toilet as well you can use. So that's my walk more or less finished. Hopefully you've got something from this walk, whether you are struggling yourself right now and you know you can't get out of the house, you just can't do it. Hopefully just looking at that greenery and that walk that I've done, and it helped you, made you feel a little bit better. Maybe you've kind of looked at this video and you are seeing some similarities and you feel like you're struggling as well. So hopefully it's been of some use to you. do me a favour. I've opened up quite a lot. I have been quite brave today. Can you give us a thumbs up? Give us a like. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel so that you could see the videos that I do put out, and you might find that they're useful. You might find that they could be useful for somebody that you know. Could be somebody on your watch, somebody on your shift, could be a family member or a friend. And if you feel up to it, just press that notification bell so that you will get the latest video when I release it. So thank you very much. Finally, it's time for a brew. Make sure you slip and pitch kettle, get chatting about your mental health. Take care, everyone.